Hello, and welcome to A Word of Hope for Friday of the third week of Lent. We have an excellent gospel today from St. Mark, which is an account of a scribe approaching Jesus and asking which is the greatest commandment. I think a few weeks ago we had Matthew's gospel asking the same question. In Mark's gospel, Jesus again, of course, repeats the tradition that you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. And then he goes on to say the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor and yourself. On these two are based everything that you know about the law and the prophets. What a teaching. What a teaching. What a coming down to the foundation of what it is we believe. Last night I was going through all of my Lenten books in my library, and I found this great book from many years ago called As Rain That Falls by Charles E. Miller, reflecting on today's passage. And Charles Miller says, Jesus would not have done well in academic examinations. He almost never answered a question directly or in accord with what was asked, as you experienced in today's gospel. He's asked by the scribe, which is the greatest commandment? And Jesus says there are two, and on those two are based everything else. Miller goes on to say, Jesus refused to give one answer because true love for God cannot be separated from love for people. Whoever loves God must also love brothers and sisters, as we hear in the letter of John. The sign of peace. Do you remember when we used to be able to gather in large numbers for Mass before the pandemic, and we would share the sign of peace with one another? Do you know how many years I have experienced people grumbling at me about the sign of peace? They don't want to turn around and shake hands with anybody else at the Mass. The sign of peace at Mass is a reminder to us that we cannot separate love of God from love of one another. We cannot really embrace Christ in the Eucharist if we reject Christ in people. Those who do not love brothers and sisters whom they can see don't have a clue about loving God whom they cannot see. That's what we also hear in the first letter of John. Miller says, when we come before the Lord in judgment, the Lord will ask, have you kept the great commandment? We will say, yes, Lord, we have loved you with all our heart and all our mind and all our strength. And the Lord will say, I'm sorry, I cannot accept only one answer to my question. Let's not be in that list. Let's not be among those who think we love God and think we can love God without loving each other. This is a challenging gospel. It leads us to the heart of God. And Jesus tells us that the approach to the heart of God is through one another's hearts. God bless you.